hypothetically, if I was to say, oh my God, I hope nothing happens to my wife or someone that I care about on the road, that they get in a car accident, I'm not responsible whether I think about it or not if something should happen to them. Like it's completely out of my control.
I'm glad you brought this up because this is not uncommon for people to have thoughts of various kinds and then something happens and there can be that terrible, overwhelming feeling that I caused it, that I'm responsible for what happened. And we simply are not that powerful with ordinary thoughts of the kind that you're speaking of.
The things that happen to most people are much, again, this is learning line thinking. See, in learning line thinking, everybody has their own spiritual agenda. Sometimes in the Eastern traditions called karma. So we would prefer to call it curriculum. It's like we come here with certain things that the soul is attempting to learn by being here. And so certain things will happen in our life that will tend to guide us in certain directions so that we can harvest the learning that only that experience can bring. Someone might say, well, oh my God, if someone's in a terrible car accident and they get deformed and they have to live that way the rest of their life, is that not a terrible thing? On the learning line, no, it's not. The learning line perspective, the spiritual perspective, demands that we move into a place where one of the first things that we must give up, or be willing to give up, is thinking that we know how things should be. On the learning line, that's goal line thinking, how things should be. On the learning line, there is only what is, and what can I learn from this? How can I use this to climb up the ladder of spiritual evolution? It's a tough shift. It's a tough shift.
And in the particular situation that you're referring to, there are a couple of things that come forward inside of me. One is deep down underneath those thoughts that you mentioned that surfaced, or those concerns or those fears. What I hear is how important this event is to you.
Yes, very much so.
And how much you love your wife, and how much you care for her and her well-being. See, and if you can bring yourself back to that's down underneath this, and then if those thoughts come up, to reference yourself back to the deep caring, and to use that energy to motivate you to demonstrate the loving in your relationship with your wife, that can be a really beautiful thing.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.